All right, guys, Cap Cutlass here. So it hasn't really been a slow week. I came out here, did a couple things. Um, During the week, I adjusted the modulator on the Pontiac, and we're getting a 3,000 RPM shift, which is pretty good. Um, the 1 to 2 shift is still a little soft, but I'm going to live with it. And we're going to see if it gets any worse, then chances are at the end of the season I'll pull the trans out. But um, it does hold in manual. It holds the 1 to 2 all the way to 5,000 without slipping with no flares. So I think it's just either the governor has a sticking point or possibly because I don't run a throttle valve cable, a kickdown cable, it's throwing it off in drive. And considering the fact that that transmission I had in the olds with a much higher rear end gear ratio numerically, or numerically higher gear, I ran like a 390. The RPM was held up high enough to create enough line pressure to have that firm shift. So either way, we're gonna run it out and see what happens. Either way, if not, I can have the transmission out in an hour and put in fresh clutches. And there's 1 of 2 things it can be if it's not the throttle valve cable, and it's either a bad lip seal in the intermediate drum or I have a cross link in the valve body because everything else checks out. So either way, it's a minor repair, at least I consider. Most people would flip out if something was wrong with their transmission, but I'm fairly comfortable with the Turbo 350 and yada yada yada, all that cool stuff. So either way, I really wanted to hit the track this weekend, but as many of you know out there, there's a lot of civil unrest going on, and our town is one of the towns that we've had a lot of protests daily out here. And people get nutty, people get goofy. I'm not gonna tell you guys my views on it, but out of respect, you know, people have the right to be enraged about certain things, but some people don't do it right, they ruin it for the rest of us. So for me to be able to comfortably load up this car in a trailer and go to the track, and our drive to the track is through a bunch of smaller northern Illinois towns, which in the area I live in, all the suburban towns are really clustered. So you get a lot of these crazy scenarios that can pop up, and right now it's really unpredictable. So hopefully next weekend things kind of simmer down, hopefully, and people can make peace with what's happening and going on, and maybe we can hit the track. Our oil leak is taken care of on the olds. This thing absolutely rips. I had to reset a couple of settings. Hopefully I can put an AFR bung back in my exhaust, and I'm positive I'm going to have to retune a couple things in the car. So maybe I'll make videos on that and show you guys what to look for. And really, from here, I mean, this would have been the weekend to hit the track, and I want to make a video showing you guys what my day consists of at the track, because there's a lot that goes on between going to the track and running on the track, and if things come up and how we handle them then and there. And it's just something, a perspective that I've been wanting to give you guys, the viewers, my followers or whatever, which thank you for following. I just something of a perspective that I want to give people, because there's people that go to the track, and then there's I guess a certain, even though I'm not a very competitive racer, I go out to the track to look for something, and there's people who just want to take their car to the track to see what they do. And for me, it's like I'm on the quest for something constantly new. And the goal with the car, as I've mentioned it before, is I think the car has an 1170 as it sits, with maybe a little bit more tuning. Again, as I gain experience, I learn a lot more. Maybe we can run an 1179. Even if it's an 1179, I'm happy, which for us it's half a tenth. I can literally just change the way that I shift or launch, and it can make all the world of difference. So if I can squeeze out an 1179, I'll be happy. And then we'll go to the torque converter, which I mentioned before. This is a 4500 stall, and that should really wake the car up, because I think right now the converter I have is a little tight, and I actually think we're kind of ballooning it a little bit. And you know, if the engine holds up and everything is good, then it's going to stay in the car, and we're not going to pull it out until later. So my wife is laughing probably because I'm like,
it's your socks.
My sock, dude, don't be ripping on my socks.
You look like you're like 80 years old.
Dude.
I can't even do.
If this was South Central LA, man, I'd be straight taco mode right now. So chill out.
Sorry.
So
I just couldn't get over it.
So either way, that's our plans. Both cars are pretty much squared away, and it's kind of scary. Like both cars are kind of squared away. I'm looking at the Bonneville right now, and I really love the stance of it. Like it's the sluttiest 1970s like streetcar look ever, and I absolutely am in love with the look of it. The rake, it's got like it. If you guys can still hear me as my wife's walking around the car, it's got that whole like 70s vibe with like the shitty rear wheels and the slots in the front with a white wall of all things, and I love it. It's got like this slight rake, but it seems so disproportionate because this car actually sits pretty level, and it might be like an inch higher in the back, but for some reason the roof line on this car makes the rake on the fucking car look extreme. It makes it look worse than it is, but really it's pretty sane. And it's kind of good that we put taller tires on it, like, you know, 28-inch tall tires, which is baseline for everything. We clear the driveway, and but I do plan on changing mufflers on this car. It's obnoxious under load. I love the sound, but it is very obnoxious under load. So I'm going to probably change it to some Thrush welded chamber mufflers, which I really like the sound of those. These are single chambered Extreme Flow Flowmaster knockoffs. Best $20 muffler you're ever going to buy on Amazon. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. It's been not really a busy week, not really a slow week. It's been a week of thought because I've been wanting to hit the track now that the car is ready, and we would have been ready in April, and then sometime in May we found that vacuum leak, and then things kind of went sour between that and worrying about oil problems. But I've been driving the car and consistently beating the shit out of it, which most people, I have a problem. Let's not beat on it. Me, let's beat the shit out of the car until something changes, or let's go. So that's my theory. At this point, the motor is not going to get any more hurt than it already is because our oil pressure and our vitals and everything that I look for hasn't really changed. So I think we're going to hit the track. Hopefully next weekend. That's going to be the goal throughout the week. Like I said, hopefully we can put an O2 bung in there and I can get my AFR gauge hooked back up. And then I eventually got to take this by the shop, get it up on the lift if I can, and check my suspension points, brake lines, just give the car a once over underneath, make sure the frame isn't bad because our quarter panel is buckling, so it's hard to see it in the video, but my quarter panel is starting to get a little buckle in it from twisting, and I'm a little concerned about the rear suspension points. I want to make sure that they're good and not split or anything, so I want to look for that stuff. And then I think at some point this car is going to have to get a cage in it, no matter what, for rigidity reasons. And but either way, we got 2 engines on the stands, and that's stuff to look forward to. But right now, after getting one car done, we do have to reassess our financials and kind of build up our automotive nest egg, if you will, and before we hit another project. And the small block Ford is not mine, and I have most of the parts. It's my best friend's engine, and I think I'm going to start working on that just to kind of get something going here. And then as money and time allows, the ultimate goal is to build that big block. And at this point, I think that big block is completely destined for the Bonneville after driving it. The car rips with the small block. I cannot imagine it with a big block. It's going to be an absolute screamer. And I think that there is going to be some serious soul searching and what I want to do with it, because the engine as it is with the setup that it would be a little bit high on compression. So we're going for a strong street motor with that, and it does have J-heads, but we're going to deliver no matter what, and it's going to make the combination kick ass. So either way, On that note, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We're 2 subscribers away from hitting 300, which is awesome. Thank you guys. For me, that means a lot. Our views are up. People are sharing our videos, which means a lot to me. If there's something that you guys like out of all the videos I have, share it. And you know, you don't have to hype it up, but maybe through that, somebody who likes what we do can come on board and join our program, because I'm not here to win you guys over with glam and bullshit projects. I'm here to show you guys just what I got going on, and you can guys follow our beautiful train wreck, because after all, that's kind of what it is. What we do here is just a beautiful train wreck, and that's the way I like to put it. You know, we think we got shit going good, and then shit goes wrong, and we fix it, and then it changes, and then my ADD kicks in. So we'll let you guys go. Cheers. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. Share, like, hit all them good things on there, and we'll see you guys soon with some update on something here.